Hello, and welcome to Senior Code Review Buddy. My name is Chris, and today I'm going to talk about a Senior Code Review Buddy assignment. It's a Jupyter notebook that I'm releasing for free to help developers improve. If you're interested in just diving right in and seeing what it is, there's a link in the description below to the Ko-fi page where you can get the notebook. While I think that educational content on YouTube can be great, I know that I personally find it a bit hard to consistently learn from YouTube. And I don't think it's the content per se, but more that I can be somewhat passive when consuming YouTube content. And that isn't always how I learn best. So this is something I've been thinking about with this channel from the beginning. I want to help people grow as developers, but I'm not sure that video is always the best approach. I think there is a lot of value I can provide with video, but I've wanted to try and add some active learning as well. And now, with this Jupyter notebook, I'm releasing something that you can actually get your hands on. I've got a scenario in there that you can walk through where you've found an exception in some new code that you've landed, and you need to figure out what code to write to fix it. I've added tests to validate your solution, along with an explanation for each test case about what condition it's trying to catch and how I'd recommend trying to handle it. And if you get stuck anywhere, I've included a solution as well. I'll now give a brief walkthrough of some of this notebook using the free online Jupyter Lab web environment you can use for free and without even needing an account. I've included a link to the Jupyter Lab web environment in the description below. This is the Jupyter Lab web environment. It's a great place to experiment with Jupyter notebooks if you're just getting started, since, as I mentioned, it's free and you don't even need to log in. Now, I've already loaded up my Senior Code Review Buddy assignment here, which is done through this nice and easy upload files button. If this is your first time coming here, you'll probably get some nice pop-ups as well offering you a tour, which can be helpful to learn some of the basics, things that I might not talk about here. For this assignment, since you'll only be filling out code in 2 spots, you can probably survive with a minimal amount of Jupyter knowledge. So sort of at a high level, a notebook is composed of cells. Each of these is a different cell, and a cell can contain markdown, it can contain code, or it can contain raw, which is just raw text. Now, and you can run the cells, and the Python cells will get executed through an attached kernel, and state will persist between cell runs, so that's how sort of your cells interact with each other in the notebook. To work through this assignment, we can just read each cell, execute it. We'll pretend I'm reading the cells as I go. We just sort of go, oh, and so here is our first cell, which generated some output. This is the initial test for sort of our function, and we see they pass, which is good. Now, if we go a little further, we get an error here. Now, this is actually sort of the first spot we need to do some work. So if you read up higher on, you'll see that there's no tests that the original code failed on. So sort of from the description, we know there's a situation that our original function fails on something. So this is just asking you to write a function that kind of represents that failure. And then in your next block here, it's the original version of the function. So you now would update it to handle the error that you got, and you make sure that it works for the initial tests and the new test that you added. Now, you can rerun these blocks as many times as you like. You can see this number increments as you do that, and you can do that as you're working on your solution. Now, once you've completed these 2 parts and sort of seen how you've done, in the wrap-up, you can run some additional tests that I've created, and you can also see my solution. Please take a look at this notebook and try it out. You can find a link to it in the description below. And please let me know what you think about this. Was it an interesting exercise? Too boring? Too challenging? Too short? Too long? Would you be interested in there being more of these to try? If you have any comments at all, positive or negative, please leave them below and email them to me at chris@seniorcodereviewbuddy.com. And if you have any other comments, code you'd like me to review, or ideas you'd like me to talk about, please leave a comment below or reach me at chris@seniorcodereviewbuddy.com. Thanks, and have a great day.